Good morning, I'm Adam Moot, and I'll be talking to you about fracking today on ProSide. Just to show of hands, how many of you know what fracking is and have an idea of what it is? Okay, so some of you know, hopefully I can persuade you. First off, hydraulic fracking, or hydraulic fracturing, is a process through which natural gas is tapped into out of the Marcellus and Utica shale layers under the earth. This is not just started right now. It actually, in Oklahoma, about in the 1950s, it actually started. So it's been around for quite a long time. Since 1990 here in Ohio, there's been over 15,000 deep wells or fracking wells, and through surveying and everything, there's not been one legal issue or illegal issue with these wells. Just to give you a little example, let's say this would be, the earth layer. We'll say this is the well or whatever. You will go down. We'll go down 7,000 to 12,000 feet. That's where the shale's at. And back in the 50s, it can only go so far, probably 3,000 to 5,000 feet below ground. Now they can go to 12,000. So they're reaching deeper layers of this shale and extracting it. But because of the new technology, we can actually go horizontally and reach out different places 3,000 to 5,000 feet in either direction. So, however, pretty much almost a mile either direction. So, one well today can take the place of 10 wells back then. So, one place doesn't need to have multiple well sites. And like I said, from this spot they can go either way, any which way. And there's a big topic about the water supply and how it might contaminate our water. Well, our water would be up here, let's say, and there's several layers of this bedrock that's impermeable. So, and whatever's down here cannot get through here, but as it goes down, the entire pipelining is encased in cement. So there's no way it can get out either way. But as the water, which is an average well, produces about 4,000 gallons, or needs 4 million gallons of water, which isn't a lot because if you think about a golf course in 1 week uses the same amount of water to water their lawn or whatever. So it goes down in here, and at the end, or whichever way it goes, the pressure, the high pressure of this water and the contaminants, which are salt, citric acid, benzene, or lead, which some of those things you can just buy every day in a grocery store. They come down here, and the high pressure at the end of it bursts holes in it, and it fractures the shale, the hard shale that's down here, which in turn the pressure will send it right back up, coming up. And now these wells, it takes about 100 days for them to stay open, and after it's open, they can stay active for 40 to 60 years. So it's quite a lengthy process. And here in Ohio, they're saying that we have enough natural gas and or oil to supply the entire United States for the next 14 years. But now they're finding out that the Utica layer, which is lower than the Marcellus layer, which is even lower, which they are now tapping into, is actually, there might be actually more throughout the entire state. So I've heard stuff such as even hundreds of years it'll give the United States any kind of oil. And from all this, the jobs that are going to come out of this, right now, well, as of 2010 anyway, there were 600,000 jobs just in the fracking business. As projected, by 2025 there'll be 1 million. And that's just being projected. That's not even showing, throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, all that region, how much jobs there'll be. But the one thing that everyone is concerned about is the transportation of the water and where does it go, right? So when the water comes back out, less than 1% is actually this contaminated water. So they actually recycle the water and can reuse it multiple times. But the one thing is, the radioactive and stuff that comes out is the stuff that's already down there. So they'll take it out, ship it somewhere, and actually put it right back where it came from. So it's not really harming anything. They're putting it right back to where it came from. No harm, no foul. Of course, there is, bad egg here and there. probably heard Youngstown and everything. He is no longer in business. He was just injecting it right into the ground, which made the water table off. Earthquakes. He's no longer in business. But this is from our area up here. People back in the early 60s were getting $1,500 just for signing up with these companies, and 12% of the royalties that came off of the well. So they made, $1 million, they'll get 12% of it, or whatever. Today, just for signing up it goes by acres. Just for signing up, you can get $4,000 to $5,000 an acre just for owning land. And now, even you can get up to 20% of the royalties, or net royalties, which royalties you want, because the net royalties would be after all the expenses were, so it could be less. So there's a lot of money to be made here, and people could get out of poverty. And I got all my information from the Ohio ODNR, or Department of Natural Resources, and I actually interviewed a man who his name's Scott Hill, and he is from the Western Reserve Land Conservancy. He's one of our land protectors, so that's where I got most of my information. All right, thank you.
Questions?